Alright, so I didn't even listen to Che, but I saw the views, so you know I had to milk it. I'm gonna go for like 150 BPM, obviously go into SERUM. We don't really care about the key, it's more about the sound selection. I'm gonna go into my SERUM bank here and just try to find a lead that's really thick and has a lot of like white noise. And we're just gonna create a really simple lead pattern here. There's not really much to explain here, just have 2 notes. I usually like to go for that ascending vibe, so I usually just choose a note and then choose a higher note that works well. And now we can just copy over SERUM, and now we're gonna create a little chord progression like underneath the lead. Just try to find something like really textury. So for the chords, it's gonna be really basic. I'm just gonna copy the D, just layer it with that F sharp, boost it, you know, little triplet steps. So really nothing too complicated, you just want to create a little bouncy melody. The sound does most of the work. Usually at the end of like the 2-bar phrase, I like to add a little bit of variation, so I just added this E, create a little bit of space, just so in the beat it's not always playing. And now we're just going to put both of these on the same exact mixer track and just EQ it. So first thing I'm going to do is go into this 20 Hertz one and just cut out a lot of the lows, usually at this 100 Hertz mark. And then you can go into gross beat. Usually people use Shaperbox. Gross beat is like a free plugin, so you can just go here. I'm going to go into my gross beat preset because the default ones aren't really that good, and just find a preset that really levels it up. So that one's good. It adds a little glitchy effect, a little halftime, and it also has a little squeaky effect to make it like sound cute and whatever. Then you just want to add a little bit of ear candy. I'm gonna find a pluck with like a lot of delay on it. I got this pants pluck in my chaos steering bank. I'm just gonna copy the root note and just pitch it up. Now we're gonna get into the vocal chops. So for this, you probably have to go to YouTube and try to find like good vocal chop kits for free. Or if you already have my chaos steering bank, I actually included 40 vocal chop loops in there, so you should go and get that. And once you got that open, you just want to find one that kind of fits the vibe. It's probably not going to be in key, but we can change that later. So just find one where you feel like the vocal like sound is correct. So this is kind of hard to hear, so we're gonna press normalize. And then what we're gonna do is just place this note right here and just pitch it up until it sort of sounds right. The whole loop probably won't ever be in key, but that's all right because we're just looking for 1 or 2 sounds that kind of fit the melody we already made. So we see that our sample is good at 600 cents. So now that we have that knowledge, just gonna right click this and open the sliceX channel and just go into this piano thing right here and just pitch it up to 600. Sometimes it might be annoying and like this only slides up to 603 and 598, not the 600. So you can just right click it, type in value, and it comes up with this really weird value. Since we're at 598 cents now, we know that 75 is probably gonna be 600 cents. So you can just do 0.75, and if you click it, you know that it's a 600. And we're just gonna go in here and just create a little melody for ourselves. So you just gotta mess around with this. Usually what people do is just add a vocal chop and then add Shaperbox to it, but a lot of people don't have that VST, so this is like a good way to get that effect for free. And then we just add it to a mixer track, add a little EQ, take out the lows. And to make it even more glitchy, you can just go back into gross beat and find a little preset to make it even glitchier. So yeah, that's pretty much all we're gonna do for that, but you can still barely hear the vocal chops, so I'm just gonna go here, max out the velocity. And then what I'm actually gonna do is go back into the first mixer track, and there's a lot of noise, so I'm just gonna add another EQ, just take out a tiny bit of it so it's not so wet in this higher range, just to get that white noise a little quieter. So now that we have most of our melody done, we can just go into our drums. The 808 is pretty important in these beats. You want to go into like a lucrative filthy kit or something and just find something that like really distorts. Go into here, turn on cut self, make sure your velocity is max, and just create your pattern. So So usually you would say that you would just want to follow your bass notes of your chords, but we really don't even have chords. Like if you have two notes playing at the same time, it's technically not a chord. But either way, I just kept it with the same notes, D, then an F sharp, and then I have this little note right here. As long as it sounds right, you really don't have to worry about that type of stuff. Now I'm just gonna go into the mixer, add a soft clipper like I always do, boost the thresh, post gain up to 83%. Then I'll just add the hi-hats and claps, real simple. Add another 808 pattern, because he always likes to change it up. I'm gonna go back to SERUM and just add a lead. Go into the EQ, lower like this 2K range. Vocal chops are kind of pissing me off, might lower that. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole beat. It kind of sounds a little empty, so on the master, just have the soft clipper, boost the mids a decent amount, and also boost the highs a decent amount. That should really help it out. Okay, so I like the beat, I really like the idea, but I feel like it still sounds really empty. So what I'm actually gonna do is go back to this chord section and just find a better preset, something that fills it up a little bit more, because I feel like this one is cool, but it's just not as deep as it needs to be. So yeah, that sounds a lot fuller. Let's see how it sounds. Just arrange it real quick here. You guys know the drill. So I don't really overthink this type of stuff. Choose good presets, add some glitchy effects, and you're pretty much 80% of the way there. Check out my kits down below. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Yeah, see you next time.